Welcome everybody to the Midnight Hour. God bless you, blessings, love. Big hug, shout out to everyone who is part of this, shares this ministry and blessing my life, prays for me, just spreads a bit of love and prayers for me. Today I want to share a story that I was meditating. I really don't have a particular Bible verse like I usually use. I'm going to sprinkle a few in, but I was meditating that sometimes I wouldn't say we're surprised or we pop up, but we find ourselves in a place of that we may think that we're not qualified for. But even more importantly, other people may think we don't belong there. Other people may think that we're not qualified to be there. But God has placed us with intention, with purpose, with understanding that what He's doing, the reason He put you there, the reason He put me there, in a specific time, in a specific location, for a specific purpose, it's intentional. And the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, final verse 29, it says, a man who works at his craft, a man who works diligently, and I'm paraphrasing it, but it summarizes like this. A man who works diligently will be placed amongst kings. He will not work, or she will not work for the low rank. What does that mean? The other Bible verse I wanted to use where he says, for I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper, plans of blessings, and not plans to fall apart, not plans to have failures, but plans of success, plans to prosper. A lot of times we don't, and this is honestly, when you're humble, you understand that I only got to this location, I only got this promotion, I only got this blessing, this knowledge, this talent by the grace of God. I only got to where I'm at by the grace of God, because it was on my own accord. If it was by my own strength, by my own doing, I would have fell apart a long time ago. You might have fell apart a long time ago. We would have failed a long time ago. How beautiful and impactful is it that even sometimes when we fail, God shows His light. Even in our failures, even in our brokenness, even in our needs or our wants, God shows His light upon us. And not only upon us, but so that others see what He's doing with us, through us, for us. Even in our brokenness, even the moments we fail, people see, man, that guy, that woman, that man, that young person, they have something special about them. They failed yesterday, but today they're right back at it. They cried yesterday, but today they're right back at it, worshiping God. Things didn't go too well in the meeting, in the project, but today they're going right back at it. That's what God's purpose and His light does for us. When we stay connected to Him, when me and you stay connected to Him, how beautiful is it that He is going to place you, He's going to place me, He's going to place some of us in rooms that we know we don't qualify. There's places I've been that I know I don't qualify. There's places I've stood up and spoken to, I stood up and preached, I stood up and testified to, and in my mind and in my heart say, Lord, I'm only here because You allow it, because I have no business being here. But because this is Your plan, this was Your purpose, I'm allowed to stand here. I'm allowed to speak here. I'm allowed to preach here. I'm allowed for other people to see, look what God does. Look what God does with the unqualified. Look what God does with the man or woman that doesn't have a lot of education. Look what God does with the man, with the woman, with the young person who doesn't speak well, who doesn't speak eloquently, or doesn't have a lot of Bible wisdom. But God's purpose is perfect. God's purpose is intentional. And God will take you places. God will put you in places. God will open doors that you didn't think you belonged. That the people didn't think we belonged. But he thought we belonged there. Matter of fact, he knew why he created us. Because he was going to put us there one day. He was going to open that door one day. He was going to place you on that altar one day. He was going to give you that promotion one day. And you may say, you even know I don't belong here. I know I didn't belong here. I know I didn't earn my way here. I know I don't know how I got here. And the other people are going to say, what is he doing here? What is she doing there? How did she get that promotion? How did she get that blessing? How did that family get that new house? How did that church get a new building, get a new temple? Because other people said we weren't qualified. Because other people said we didn't belong. Because other people say that's too high for them. But God said, God bless you, Miriam, love you. But God said you belong. Matter of fact, God created you for that moment. God created us for that place. God created us because he said, in this altar, in this place, this person, I'm going to place this person for this moment. That's what they told. That's what Mordecai told Esther. That's exactly what he tells Esther in chapter 4. For a time like this, you were placed. But he gives her such wisdom. I love the wisdom he gives her. He goes, for a time like this, you were placed here for a time like this. You were born for a time like this. But he gives her wisdom, a very impactful wisdom. And he says, it's yours. But if you don't do what God had placed you here to do, someone else will come and do it. Because she felt she didn't belong. She knew she didn't belong. But the grace of God, the purpose of God was for her to be there in that moment at that time. And that's why Mordecai says, for such a time like this, God has put us there with purpose, with intention. You may say, and it's not to knock God. It's not to doubt God. It's just to know that in your humble heart, in your humble soul, you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. Only God opened that door. Only God placed me in this place for such a time as this. God bless you guys. I love you. Good night.